Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 26 of the 31 Days of Horror. DBougie86 here again, guys. That is right. Today I have a film for you guys from the year 1999. Yes, the last year of the 90s. That's right, folks. And this is a film that I wanted to talk about for a while now, since I actually sit down and watch the film. This is probably my third time watching it, and wanted to talk about it a little bit more. And that, of course, is Kolobos. Great release by Arrow Video, I gotta say. Pretty rad cover arts for both sides of this. Probably more representative of the film than the actual cover art that was released back in the day of this film. And I'll get more into that in my final thoughts on it. But pretty much the gist of Kolobos is it opens up with our main character, Kira, who's in the hospital, brutally scarred. As we see, she's covered in bandages. And pretty much it's her collective memory memorizing the events of what happened. And pretty much the gist of the plot of the rest of the movie is Kara was part of like this reality type TV show. Think like The Real World, where more like Big Brother maybe too. It's kind of a mixture of those. Those shows meld together after a while. But pretty much they're in this house, they're partying, they're being recorded in their acts of what they do in the house. And what ends up happening after that is craziness ensues. The house gets locked down. They are stuck in the house now, and they're trying to get out. And there may or may not be something else in the house. Let's just leave the plot off there. That is all I'll give away, because if you know anything more about the movie, it'll ruin the experience for you. Now, my thoughts on this film. I have heard of this film before. I never rented it back in the day because pretty much the cover art for this movie kind of wasn't the best representation of the film. It kind of looked like a creature feature with some weird goth chick on the cover. And I'm like, wait a minute. When I'm watching this, wait a minute. This isn't like that cover art that I seen back in the day at all. And, I'm glad I finally, this cover arts and this one in general, I'll show you real quick, represent the film a little bit better and more than the actual cover art that they released this film on. Now, my thoughts on the actual movie at hand. Wow. Yes. First off, this is 90s acting. There's no way to get around it. The acting is what it is. It's actually not bad compared to like a lot of other 90s films, for that matter. The way that the film's influences, it kind of makes it sense, because this film is very Italian influence. What I mean by that is you take a little blender, you mix a little Argento in there, you mix a little Fulci, you get a fucking stew, and you get Kolobos. Yes, it's got a lot of sense of Argento aesthetics to it that I dig. The color schemes, and it also has some Fulcianism, like with Fulci's nightmare logic with the main plot of it, and also his fucking gore. It has that Fulci fucking gore. It has some memorable kills in it that I dig, and it's kind of ahead of its time, because this did came out before After Cube, but it kind of also has like that trap aesthetic that you would later see in like maybe like Saw and shit like that. And it kind of has some grimy feels to it. Some of the fucking aesthetical choices that I dig. Very well shot for the budget that it was. And it's cool when you hear like the commentary, like how much this cost, and they shot this at this house that belonged to somebody that they knew or something like that. And like it works. It works. It's contained, kind of like horror film in a way, with the aesthetical choices that they use, and you see those green, red tinges that you love in Italian horror movies, and the score is fucking fantastic for this type of movie. The opening track is very reminiscent of the main song from Suspiria that you hear. It's kind of different in its own way, and it kind of has you're like, wait a minute, this kind of sounds like Suspiria, but it's different enough to make it its own thing too, which you dig. Oop, Butterfingers there, guys. Been jittery. It's actually my 5th time trying to record this review. Crazy night, yeah. But anyways, the kills are pretty good. There's a fucking great eye scene. Fulci. Oh yeah, he loved the eyes, and fucking there's some cool aesthetic, and yeah, the fucking ending of this movie, very ambiguous. I'm not gonna give it away, of course, because I want you to see it. It's very interesting, the aspect of the ending that I fucking dug, and it makes me think. And when a movie makes me think, I like that. It's not fucking too hard, and you still have fun with it because there's some great kills in it. Some quirky characters, a cameo by Linnea Quigley out of nowhere. I didn't even know she was in this movie when I first picked it up. And fucking, fun shit. It's a fun movie. If you haven't seen Kolobos and you like shit like Trapped in the House, trap kills, fucking Italian horror, check this movie out. You might dig it. If I had to rate it, solid 8.5 out of 10. I highly enjoy it for what it is, and fucking, I appreciate it, especially listening to the filmmakers talk about their making of it on this release from Arrow Video. Highly, highly recommend it. If you haven't picked it up yet, check it out. Alright guys, that's it for this review. As always, I'll be back tomorrow with another one. Yeah, so I'll see you then. Peace out.